Hello, in this video I just want to introduce you to some of the more advanced Zoom controls. These are really great for creating additional interactivity, especially if you're doing virtual training. So you'll see some of the tools that I've enabled on the bottom here, and one of them is polls. So one of the really cool things you can do is you can create polls with multiple choice questions, and then you can launch those throughout your training to get feedback or to even kind of do a little quiz to make sure people are getting it and learning what you're teaching them. So this is just an example of something I might do. This poll question, what do you like best about Zoom, and just some fun little responses. You can definitely use this polling feature to also do some icebreakers and things like that, just to kind of get some interaction. So all you do is you launch the poll and you'll see how many people have responded. There's nobody to respond, so you'll see how many of the participants have voted. So you want to try and get to 100% if possible, and then you'll have an option to share the results. People do tend to like that feature. Oh, you end poll, then you can share the results there. And another feature I love to use for training are these breakout rooms. In this way, you can break your participants into small groups, and they can have small group discussions where they are more engaged and they kind of have to participate in those smaller sessions. So you just click on those and it will let you decide the number of rooms that you want. It'll tell you based on the number of rooms that you have how many participants would be in each room. It does not count you as the host. And then you can automatically or manually assign them to the rooms. Once you've done that, then you can assign people to the rooms. You can also join them once people are in the room. So you're not seeing all of those features here just because I'm the only person in the room. The other thing you should definitely have enabled is the nonverbal feedback in the participants panel. And for your participants, they'll actually have a raise hand icon here. That is a great tool to use so that when you do have people verbally responding, they're not just talking over each other, but they raise their hand to indicate that they want to come off mute and share. You can also get confirmations with the yes and no's, and I also like to introduce my participants to the icons under the More feature. I particularly like the coffee and the away button because the coffee can indicate that they need a break, and the away will just let me know they're coming right back, but that's why they're not responding. So if I'm doing some interactivity and trying to get everybody to respond, I'll know not to expect them. So those are the interactivity tools that I like to use that won't be enabled by default on your Zoom screen. So I'll show you how to enable those now. You'll want to go to your account in your web browser. You won't be able to do this from the app on your desktop. So zoom.us, and then just go to my account. And under my account, you'll go to settings. And you'll have a lot of different settings here that I encourage you just to take a look at them line by line and see what you might prefer for your own training. Anything I've modified from the default, you'll know because it'll have this indicator on the right that says modified, and I can reset it to the default if I desire to do that. But I do always like to encourage video to be on, so I set that up that way. And I also think it's really smart to mute your participants upon entry. There can be so many different things happening in the background that can be really distracting if people come in already with their sound blasting. Of course, we want chat enabled. I also have enabled co-host abilities. I add polling just by clicking on that toggle there. And The other things you'll want is this nonverbal feedback, and then also enable a breakout room. I allow hosts to assign participants to the breakout room. Okay, so once you've enabled that, if you decide you want to use a poll, then you'll want to create that in advance. There is a way to do it mid-meeting, but I find that that kind of messes up the flow and is a little distracting. So in order to set up your poll, you'll want to go to the Meetings tab, and then you just find the meeting that you want to create a poll for. Then you'll scroll down to the bottom of your meeting details, and you can see I already did create the poll that I showed you there. And you can add additional polls by just clicking on that button. Simply fill out the title. You can set it to anonymous if you'd like. Type your question, and you can give your participants option of only choosing one or choosing multiple choices. And you can have up to 10 different answers, but you do need to have at least 2 in order for it to work. You can add additional questions here, and that's how you set up polling. I hope you found those tools helpful, and they will definitely make your next virtual training a lot more engaging and interactive. So have fun with it. Thanks for watching.